Your heart begins to hammer against your ribs like a trapped bird. A sudden, searing heat floods your cheeks, and you feel the desperate, primal urge to vanish into the floorboards. This is the flash fire of embarrassment. It feels like a glitch in your personality, a social malfunction that makes you want to crawl into a hole. But your brain isn't broken. In fact, what is happening to you right now is a sophisticated, ancient biological survival mechanism. It is a social reflex older than spoken language, and it is the reason human beings manage to survive as a species at all. To understand why you blush, we have to look at the anatomy of the shame response. The moment you perceive a social error, a slip of the tongue, a stumble in public, a forgotten name, your brain's anterior cingulate cortex lights up. This is the same region that processes physical pain. Your body literally interprets social exclusion as a threat to your life. When you feel exposed, your sympathetic nervous system kicks into high gear. It triggers the fight or flight response, dumping adrenaline into your bloodstream. Your blood vessels dilate to prepare your muscles for action. In the face, these vessels expand rapidly, pushing warm blood into the surface of your skin. That is the blush. It is a biological spotlight that you cannot turn off. Why would evolution select for a trait that makes you look guilty, nervous, and vulnerable? Why not evolve a poker face? The answer lies in our history. For the vast majority of our evolution, humans lived in small, tight-knit hunter-gatherer bands. In these groups, social standing was everything. Being kicked out of the group was a death sentence. You couldn't hunt, forage, or defend yourself alone on the savannah. You needed the group to survive. Embarrassment is the brain's social alarm system. When you violate a social norm, your body forces a physical signal that everyone can see. It is a silent admission of guilt. By turning bright red and looking away, you are non-verbally signaling to the rest of the tribe, I know I messed up. I recognize the rules of this group, and I am still one of you. In 1995, psychologist Dacher Keltner conducted a landmark study on the communicative power of the blush. He found that people who displayed the classic signs of embarrassment, the lowered gaze, the tilted head, the smile, and the flushed cheeks, were perceived by observers as more likable, more trustworthy, and more likely to follow social rules. When you blush, you are essentially performing a public apology before you even open your mouth. It shows that you care about the group's opinion of you. It demonstrates humility. If you didn't blush, you would be seen as a sociopath. You would be viewed as someone who doesn't respect the social contract, and therefore someone who cannot be trusted. In a prehistoric context, a person who never felt shame was a liability to the survival of the band. This is why embarrassment is considered a moral emotion. It is a check and balance on our behavior. Without the capacity for this sudden, involuntary heat in our faces, our social structures would crumble. We would have no mechanism to quickly resolve friction or signal repentance. Think about the sheer speed of this process. It happens in milliseconds. It bypasses your conscious mind entirely. You don't decide to blush, it happens to you. This confirms that this system is hardwired into our limbic system, the most primitive part of our brain. It predates the development of complex language by hundreds of thousands, if not millions of years. We were signaling our social standing through blood flow long before we had words to explain why we were sorry. Even today, we see this in children as young as 2 years old, even before they have developed a strong sense of self or complex cognitive reasoning. They show signs of embarrassment when they realize they have violated a rule. But what about the modern world? We no longer live in groups of 30 people on the savannah. We live in cities of millions, and we interact with thousands of people online. The triggers for our embarrassment have shifted from I accidentally stole a piece of meat from the chief to I accidentally hit reply all on an email. Yet the body hasn't updated its software. It still treats the email mistake as a threat to your social survival. It still treats an awkward silence in a meeting as a potential exile from the tribe. We are Stone Age brains living in a silicon world, experiencing an ancient, beautiful, and deeply painful warning system that is trying to keep us connected. The next time you feel that heat rising in your neck, don't try to fight it. Don't hide your face. Instead, recognize it for what it is, a remnant of the very thing that made humans the most successful social animals on the planet. It is your biology trying to keep the tribe together. It is a testament to the fact that you care about your place in the world. So, why does it feel so bad? Because it's supposed to. If it felt pleasant, we wouldn't learn from our mistakes. We wouldn't strive to be better neighbors, better colleagues, or better friends. We are embarrassed because we are social. We are social because we are human. And we are human because we evolved to care deeply about what our companions think of us. The blush is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of belonging. It is the physical manifestation of your commitment to the people around you. When you strip away the discomfort, the shame, and the desire to hide, you are left with a simple truth. We are wired to connect, and we are built to apologize for the moments we fail. Perhaps the most human thing you can do is not to be perfect, but to be the person who turns bright red when they realize they're not.